Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. We are pleased to be joined by Clarkston hockey head coach Nathan Bryer. How's it going?
It's awesome. Just playoff hockey is always a fun time of year, and it's every time you can extend your season by whether it's a couple days or a week, it's always a good time.
Yeah. Okay, so you got the big win against Heartland for the regional championship. First time that you've been able to accomplish that since 2011. It's a big step for this program that has really kind of come on the last few years, and this is the third time in a row that you've had to face Heartland, for this. But what was it like to get the win and to get over the hump and all the things that you've been building on in the past few years since you took this job?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was a big hump to get over, and it was something that I think, as much as it hurt the last 3 years prior to run into them, but it's made us a better program, and it's made us have to adapt and evolve to get over that hump. So it's a big step for our program and the guys in our locker room. We have a big group of guys that have been here for 3 and 4 years, and again have battled Heartland pretty hard over those years. So it was good for them to. It was nice to see them get over that hump as well.
Yeah. And, I know that you lost a lot of seniors from last year's team. What is special about this group that really has what was this group like in these first few games? I know I saw you guys in November, then saw you guys again a couple months ago. What has this team been like to coach this year?
It's been awesome. I think myself and Coach Krefsky and Coach Larkin, we enjoy being around this group. We have a really good group of young athletes that they work hard every day and they're very dedicated to what they do. And I think the biggest thing that we see is like a group of guys that it doesn't matter who gets it done every night, and maybe who has the success or who's quote unquote the hero in a game, as long as it's a guy that's wearing a Clarkston hockey jersey. And I think that's a big part of it, right? Not just being individually skilled and individually good hockey players, but being a team, right? And doing things for the betterment of that group. And then in turn, everyone has individual success as well. So I think that's been the biggest thing we see with this group this year is the willingness to buy in and be a part of again, something bigger than just the individual feel good success.
Okay, so for people that aren't too familiar with Clarkston hockey, just kind of talk about some of the guys that have really kind of stood out for this program.
Yeah, I mean, there's I talk about it all the time, and our depth and our ability for any guy on any given night to kind of take the reins. But we have guys like Owen Crossan who have been here for 4 years, and have seen our program again go from a team that went through its growing pains and struggles and inherited a young group of coaches to a team that now has success, and is building and gaining traction and starting to win those big games. So you have him, and then you have Ron Wade and Eric Wade and Evan Adams, and there's a long list of guys, and you have 3 year guys in Brendan Rhodes and Brady Airing and Quinn Farrell that again, it's all about the team with those guys and all those guys that I listed. And then we added some guys this year that are newcomers, and Gavin Anderson and Kyle Lynch and Cole Moises. So like you can go up and down our roster, and it's different guys, and you see that against Heartland just the other day, right? It's not always Ron Wade and Owen Croston that produce for us offensively. We can have anyone do it on any given night.
Yeah. Okay, so going into this game, of course, the quarterfinal round against another team from my backyard here in Livingston County in Howell. It's another team that has gotten over the hump and first regional title since 2020. But this is another team that has a lot of really skill. Have you gotten a chance? I'm sure you've gotten a chance to watch, film on these guys. What really impresses you about Holland? What do you feel like you guys need to do to take that next step?
Yeah, Howell's a very good hockey team, and they play again in arguably one of the better leagues in high school hockey. So they're going to be battle tested and have went through some adversity every year, right? Howell's a very impressive group, right? They work hard. They're structurally very sound, and on top of that, they have some high end skill and really good goaltending. So they're a team that it's you talk about our region and our path and with Heartland and Howell, and I think there's multiple teams that are very deserving to be at USA in a week, right? And Howell's one of those teams, right? They're well coached and structured in their discipline, and the biggest thing is they work hard and they do it day in and day out. Like you can watch as many games as you want on them, and every game you get the same thing. Like they are going to show up and they are going to work. And again, on top of that, them being skilled makes them a very dangerous hockey team. So I think for us is we have to match that. We have to be willing to work and keep up with their pace of play and make it hard at the net fronts. And it's probably going to come down to winning 50-50 battles and what group is going to be more willing to do that. So,
Yeah. Okay. So, heading into the last few years, just to you talked about seeing this program evolve. I mean, just look at the schedule that you guys have. I mean, like look at who you've played. A lot of the top teams in the state have said, we want to come play you guys. What has that been like to see, a lot of teams coming to you and saying, we want to play you guys?
yeah, it's been awesome, and again, it's a testament to not only this year's team but the players in the last few years and how they've battled and created that culture with our program. But it makes us better, right? When you get to compete with the best teams in the state, on a weekly basis, which is kind of how our schedule laid out this year. It makes us a better group, and I know I've said it 100 times, but you become more battle tested, and it's not always a bad thing to face some adversity and lose some hockey games as long as you're going to be willing to learn from it and again come out the other side better for it. It's a good thing for us.
Yeah. Um, so, and that, and finally, I'll ask you this: what would it mean when was the last time Clarkston went to USA, and what would it mean for them to get to USA? Because I can't remember the last time you guys went there.
Yeah, so first I'll start off with I don't like talking about it because we still have a job to do on Saturday,
Correct, correct, yeah.
but we I think so 2005 is the last time that Clarkston has been to the Final Four. 2003 is the last time that Clarkston has been in the state championship game. So it's been a long time, and since Todd Krieger coached here and kind of had Clarkston hockey as a top program for a long time, and he did a really good job of creating that culture, and I think that's what we strive to get back to and bring back to Clarkston hockey on a more consistent basis than taking 20 years off from doing something like that. So it would be awesome for our program. But again, it's more about seeing the guys in our locker room get to experience that and have success and continue to extend their season every time we get on the ice. So I think again it's big for our program, but it's more for the guys in the room this year and them being able to experience that.
All right. Well, Nathan, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us, and best of luck on Saturday against Howell.
Thank you for having me on as well.